Satan uses a lot of different things, a lot of different tactics to fool people. He knows how to look good, and he knows how to fake being good, just like God, in order to get people to do what he wants them to do. The Bible even tells us he masquerades as an angel of light. The enemy seeks to kill, steal, and destroy, but he packages everything up in a way that's so appetizing that we go for it. We indulge ourselves. But then when everything's revealed, we see his intention was not good at all. The Bible also tells us he goes about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. He presents us what looks like life and love and pleasure and happiness, but in the end, it's death and slavery and destruction. This is really his tactic in the garden when he came to Eve and presented her with an option, a temptation, as you will, something that looked good, tasted good, felt like it was the right thing. But when Eve took a bite of that fruit, and Adam after her took a bite of that fruit, the real intentions of the devil were brought to light. See, the consequences of sin are usually not clearly seen when first presented. Consequences are usually a lot more destructive at the very end. Although sin does appears attractive, really righteousness in the end produces a greater reward. The book of Hebrews tells us that Moses chose to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. The reason was Moses trusted that the outcome of what God wanted him to do would be a lot greater and a lot more pleasurable in the end than the outcome of what the enemy would really want him to do. On the other hand, if sin remains unchecked, it's going to eventually spiral out of control. That's the nature of sin, and that's the nature of the masquerade of sin, because it's always worse than what initially appears. But thankfully, because God loves us, he brings conviction into our lives. Just as the prophet Nathan was sent to confront David in his sin, that confrontation, though painful in David's life, became his salvation. Thankfully, God doesn't want us to spiral out of control. God doesn't want us to be lost in sin and the deception that the enemy brings. But he will bring conviction into our lives. And thank God he does, because that's so important for our salvation. So this next series in the Discipleship Project is going to look at the masquerade of sin. Because Satan masquerades the destructive nature of sin, we need to be honest with ourselves, the carnage that sin actually brings. So join us as we take a look at this together and see how God can help us through this and give us the ability to overcome the sin and temptation in our own lives.